Right, you nerds strap in, because today we're diving headfirst into this crazy world of FreeBSD.
FreeBSD.
We're talking the operating system that's been powering this shit out of everything from servers to you get this fucking gaming consoles.
Gaming consoles.
And you know what? Its history is just as badass as its applications.
Yes, it really is. It's like the unsung hero of the tech world,
Yeah.
Everyone's out there, fawning over Windows and Mac OS, and FreeBSD's just been quietly running the internet this whole time.
Yeah, it's been powering some of your favorite gadgets for decades.
For decades.
So let's cut the crap and get to the juicy stuff.
Let's do it.
We're talking about an operating system that's older than some of our listeners, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
It all started back in 1993 with FreeBSD 1.
1993, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, you heard that right. 1993.
Yeah.
And I bet most of you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye back then.
Not even a thought.
Version 1.1.5.1 followed in 94.
Yeah.
But the real shitstorm hit with FreeBSD 2.0 in November of 94.
That was a big one.
That was a big one.
That's when they basically told AT&T to shove it.
Yeah.
And declared their code free from all that UNIX baggage.
Wow.
Huge legal victory, my friend.
Huge.
It was like a middle finger to the establishment, and it opened the floodgates for widespread adoption, especially for those early internet servers.
Oh, yeah.
Back when the web was just starting to crawl out of the primordial ooze.
Yeah, imagine the wild west of the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's scrambling for a reliable and cheap as hell OS to handle those clunky websites.
Right.
And boom, FreeBSD rides in like a goddamn knight in shining armor.
Absolutely. And you know what's hilarious?
What's that?
They have a sense of humor, these guys.
Really?
They released FreeBSD 2.2.9 in 2006 as an April Fool's Day prank.
Wait, they released a whole-ass operating system as a joke?
The best part is it was fully functional.
Oh, wow.
Talk about dedication to fucking with people.
Yeah.
But it also shows their commitment to backward compatibility.
Oh, really?
You could still run software from those ancient versions on this prank release.
So even their pranks are useful.
Yeah.
These guys are on another level.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about how fast technology moves.
Yeah?
Most companies want you to buy the latest and greatest.
Uh-huh.
But FreeBSD is like, nah, we're good. Let's make sure everything still works.
Right.
Even that ancient crap.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about FreeBSD 3 and 4.
Okay.
This is where shit starts to get serious, right?
Yeah, things are starting to ramp up.
FreeBSD 3 in 98 brought support for symmetric multiprocessing,
SMP.
or SMP for those who want to sound smart.
That's right.
Basically, it could handle systems with multiple processors,
Multiprocessing.
which was becoming all the rage back then.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it like this. Your computer's brain just got a serious upgrade.
Big time.
It can now juggle multiple tasks at once without breaking a sweat.
Right. And they also switched from a bot out to ELF executables.
ELF executable sounds like something straight out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, a little bit.
What the hell is that?
It's basically a more efficient way to package and run software.
Okay.
Imagine switching from a horse-drawn carriage to a goddamn sports car.
Right, I gotcha.
It might seem like a technical detail,
Yeah.
but it shows their dedication to constantly improving the system,
Right.
making it faster and smoother.
So they weren't just resting on their laurels after that whole AT&T debacle.
No, they were not.
They were still pushing the boundaries
They were hungry.
and making sure FreeBSD stayed ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
And FreeBSD 4
FreeBSD 4.
released in 2000.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's when they hit the jackpot.
That's when things really took off.
ISPs and web hosting companies were all over this release like flies on shit
They loved it.
because it was that good.
It was that good.
Stable as a rock, fast as lightning,
Rock solid.
perfect for the dot-com boom where everyone and their grandma was trying to get online.
They needed something reliable.
Yeah.
And FreeBSD was it.
So it was the engine that kept the early internet humming. They also introduced some revolutionary features.
They did.
They might sound boring to the average Joe,
Yeah.
but they were critical for building reliable systems.
Critical.
Things like Q for efficient event monitoring and jails for isolating processes
Yeah.
and beefing up security.
Security was becoming a big deal.
Okay, I got to ask, what the hell are jails?
Jails.
Are we talking about digital prisons for naughty code?
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
They're like little virtual cages where you can lock up your applications so they don't screw with each other or the entire system.
So it's like solitary confinement for unruly software?
You got it.
Damn, that's pretty badass.
That's a good way to think about it.
They were basically predicting the whole containerization trend that everyone's losing their minds over these days.
They were way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
It's like they had a crystal ball and saw the future of software development.
But hold on, we got another plot twist coming up.
Oh, there's always a plot twist.
Matt Dillon, one of the core FreeBSD developers,
one of the OGs,
decided to go rogue.
That's right.
And fork FreeBSD 4.8 in 2003.
2003.
He created Dragonfly BSD, which is like FreeBSD's rebellious cousin.
That's a good way to put it.
Hold up a fork like he stabbed FreeBSD in the back and stole the code?
Not quite.
Okay.
A fork in the open source world is basically when someone takes the existing code and creates a separate project with it,
right?
Often to pursue a different direction or vision.
So it's more like he took the FreeBSD blueprint and said, I'm going to build my own damn house.
Exactly. And in Dillon's case, he wanted to explore different kernel design choices, especially for multiprocessing.
Right.
It's a whole other rabbit hole we could dive into if you want to get really technical.
You know what? Let's save that for another time.
Okay.
My brain's already fried from all this FreeBSD goodness.
I hear you.
But damn, what a wild ride we've had so far.
It's been a wild ride.
From telling AT&T to fuck off to releasing operating systems as pranks.
It's a good story.
FreeBSD has been anything but boring.
Anything but.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
We've only just begun.
Wait till we get to the really juicy stuff like the introduction of ZFS.
Ooh, ZFS.
That's when things really start to get interesting.
That's when things get really good. All right, so FreeBSD 5.
FreeBSD 5.
Finally hit the scene in 2003.
2003.
And everyone was buzzing about its fancy new threading model.
Right.
Called KSE Kernel Scheduled Entities.
Kernel Scheduled Entities.
That sounds like some next level shit.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean?
Right. What does that mean for us regular folks?
Yeah.
Who just want our computers to not crash every 5 minutes?
Well, think of it as giving your computer a multitasking superpower.
Multitasking superpower.
It's like having a team of tiny elves inside your machine.
Okay.
Each handling a specific task with incredible efficiency.
So no more waiting an eternity for my browser to load.
That's right.
While my music player is chugging along like a rusty tractor.
Exactly.
I can get behind that.
They wanted to make FreeBSD even more responsive.
Yeah.
Especially as computers were becoming more powerful and handling increasingly complex tasks.
But you mentioned hiccups.
Oh, yeah.
Did they accidentally unleash a horde of gremlins into the code or something?
Let's just say the early versions of FreeBSD 5 were a bit rough around the edges.
Right.
You know, it's like trying to tame a wild stallion.
Right.
It takes time to get everything running smoothly.
But they eventually got it under control.
Right. Oh, yeah. By releases 5.4 and 5.5,
right,
FreeBSD 5 was a lean, mean multitasking machine.
Awesome.
It wasn't just about adding features.
Right.
It was about re-architecting the core of the OS to handle these complex tasks with grace.
So it's like they rebuilt the engine while the car was still running.
Basically.
That takes some serious balls.
It does.
And during this era, they also birthed Geom.
Geom.
A framework for storage solutions that's so flexible it'll make your head spin.
Geom is a powerful beast.
Wait, hold on. What the hell is Geo?
Geom.
Are we talking about geometry class flashbacks here?
No geometry here.
Okay.
Imagine you have a bunch of Lego bricks, but instead of building spaceships, you're building custom storage configurations.
Oh, wow.
Disk mirroring, encryption, all that good stuff.
So it's like a DIY kit for your hard drives.
That's one way to think about it.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
It's more than cool. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Geom embodies FreeBSD's modular design philosophy.
Yeah.
They give you the building blocks, and you can create any crazy storage setup you can imagine.
So it's like a storage playground for nerds.
Exactly.
And who was bankrolling this storage revolution?
Well...
Did they hit up some Silicon Valley venture capitalists?
Actually, this work was sponsored by DARPA, the same folks who brought us the internet.
Holy shit, the government was funding a project to make storage more awesome.
That's right.
That's some next level shit.
It shows you how important FreeBSD was becoming.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a hobby project for a bunch of geeks anymore.
Right.
It was playing a crucial role in the development of critical technologies.
All right, so we got multitasking superpowers.
We do.
And a storage framework backed by the goddamn government.
Yep.
What did FreeBSD 6 bring to the party?
Well...
Did they start handing out free beer?
Not quite, but they did double down
Okay.
on refining SMP and threading, focusing on network performance and security.
Right.
They introduced OpenBSM.
OpenBSM.
For auditing security events.
Okay.
A project that spun out of the Trusted BSD project.
That sounds kind of boring.
Come on.
Can't we just install a firewall and call it a day?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Security's like hygiene, man. You can't just wash your hands once and expect to stay clean forever.
I get you.
You got to be vigilant.
Yeah.
Constantly monitoring for threats and vulnerabilities.
Especially as more and more businesses relied on FreeBSD for their servers.
That's right.
Security became paramount.
It did.
So it's like one little security slip up, and your entire company could go down in flames.
That's the risk.
Yikes.
And OpenBSM is like having a security camera for your operating system.
Well,
it tracks every login attempt, every file access, every suspicious activity.
So if some hacker tries to break in, you'll have a detailed log of their every move.
You got it.
That's pretty damn impressive.
It's all about accountability and transparency.
Okay.
FreeBSD is built on the idea that you should be in control of your system.
Yeah.
And that includes knowing exactly what's happening under the hood.
All right, let's move on to FreeBSD 7.
FreeBSD 7?
The release that's supposed to blow our minds.
This is a big one.
What kind of fireworks did they bring this time?
Oh, man. FreeBSD 7 was a game changer.
Okay.
It was like they took everything they learned from the previous releases, threw it in a blender with some cutting-edge technology, and poured out a masterpiece.
All right, spill the beans. What's the main course on this technological feast?
First, they added SCTT.
SCTP.
A new network protocol.
Okay.
That's basically TCP's smarter, more reliable cousin.
TCP's smarter cousin.
It's designed for applications that demand rock-solid data transmission.
Right.
Like telecommunications and financial systems.
So like if you're transferring millions of dollars, you want to make damn sure that those zeros and ones don't get lost in transit.
Exactly. SCTP is like a bulletproof vest for your data.
Okay.
It ensures that everything arrives safe and sound, even if the network is having a meltdown.
Okay. I'm starting to see why FreeBSD 7 is such a big deal.
It's a big one.
What else did they throw in the mix?
Well, then they added UFS journaling.
UFS journaling.
Think of it as an insurance policy.
An insurance policy?
For your file system.
Like if my hard drive crashes, I get a payout.
Not exactly.
Okay.
But it does protect your data.
Right.
UFS journaling makes recovering from crashes way faster.
Right.
No more spending hours or even days trying to salvage your precious files.
Oh. So it's like instead of losing all my vacation photos,
yeah,
I just have to wait a few minutes for them to reappear.
Pretty much.
That's not bad.
It's all about minimizing downtime.
Right.
And making sure your system can bounce back from disasters quickly.
All right. Now for the main event. Let's talk about ZFS.
ZFS.
I've heard whispers about this mythical file system.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure what all the fuss is about.
Oh, man. ZFS is the crown jewel of FreeBSD 7.
Okay.
It's a revolutionary file system developed by Sun Microsystems that changed the way we think about storage.
So it's not just some incremental improvement.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new paradigm.
It's a paradigm shift.
Okay.
ZFS is like a storage superhero.
A storage superhero.
It has features like data integrity checks, practically unlimited storage capacity, snapshots and clones.
Snapshots and clones.
It's mind-blowing stuff.
Okay, slow down, Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Let's break this down.
Okay.
Data integrity checks.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean?
Imagine you're building a house.
Okay.
You want to make sure every brick is solid, every beam is strong, every nail is hammered in perfectly.
Right.
That's what ZFS does for your data.
Oh, wow.
It constantly checks for errors and inconsistencies, ensuring that your files are always in pristine condition.
So no more corrupted files or weird glitches.
That's the idea.
I like the sound of that.
And then there's the storage capacity.
Storage capacity.
ZFS basically laughs in the face of limitations.
Oh, gosh.
It can handle ridiculously large amounts of data,
like
petabytes and even exabytes. Exabytes.
That's like a lot, right?
It's a shit ton.
Okay.
More data than you could ever imagine.
Right.
And ZFS handles it all with ease.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are so excited about this ZFS thing.
It's a big deal.
But what about those snapshots and clones you mentioned?
Right.
Are we talking about time travel or something?
Close. Yeah. Snapshots are like taking a picture of your file system at a specific point in time.
Right.
So if you accidentally delete a file or make a change, you regret.
I do that all the time.
You can just revert back to a previous snapshot.
Wow.
And it's like nothing ever happened.
Wait, so I can basically undo any mistake I make?
You can.
That's like a Control-Z for my entire hard drive.
That's a good way to put it.
That's amazing.
And clones are like copies of your data.
Right.
But they're super efficient.
Okay.
They don't take up a lot of space. because they only store the differences between the original and the clone.
So it's like having multiple versions of my files without needing a separate hard drive for each one.
Exactly. It's pretty cool.
Snapshots and clones are like superpowers for data management.
Right.
They make backups, testing, and recovery a breeze.
All right, my brain is officially fried.
That's a lot to take in.
We got a new network protocol, an insurance policy for our files, and a stored superhero with mind-blowing powers.
That's ZFS for you. FreeBSD 7 was definitely a wild ride.
It was a good one.
And you know what's even cooler?
What's that?
FreeBSD didn't just take ZFS and slap it on their OS.
Oh, they didn't.
They worked closely with the ZFS developers to make sure it integrated perfectly and took advantage of FreeBSD's unique capabilities.
It made it work beautifully together.
So it's like a match made in heaven.
It is.
It's a testament to the power of open source.
It really is.
It's not just about borrowing someone else's code. It's about collaboration and making things better together.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
All right. I need a moment to process all this.
Take your time.
ZFS is like the Beyonce of file systems.
I wouldn't argue with that.
It's that good.
It's that good.
FreeBSD 8 rolled out in 2009.
2009.
And they doubled down on that.
Yep.
Sweet ZFS goodness.
Of course.
Making it even more stable and robust.
Had to do it.
And get this.
What?
They added XenDOM support.
XenDOM.
Which sounds like something out of Star Wars. Yeah, kinda. But it's actually all about virtualization.
That's right.
Running multiple operating systems.
Multiple operating systems.
On one machine like a goddamn tech wizard.
It's like magic.
It was a brilliant move.
It was.
Virtualization was becoming crucial for businesses.
Absolutely.
To make the most of their hardware.
Right.
Running multiple servers on a single machine.
Yep.
Saving space and money.
Saving money. That's the important part.
And FreeBSD was ready to ride that wave.
They were on it.
So they weren't just focused on making storage awesome with ZFS.
No.
They were embracing the whole virtualization revolution.
They were embracing it all.
They're like the Swiss Army knife of operating systems.
I like that analogy.
Always prepared for whatever the tech world throws at them.
They're always ready.
Exactly. And they didn't forget about the hardware side of things either.
No, they didn't.
They completely rewrote the USB stack to support the then new USB 3.0 standard.
USB 3.0, that was a big deal.
Making data transfers faster than a cheetah on a sugar rush.
Gotta go.
Always got to keep up with the Joneses, right?
You do.
Especially when it comes to speed and performance.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to be stuck with a system that's slower than a snail in a tar pit.
Nobody wants that.
FreeBSD has always been about balancing stability with innovation.
That's right.
They don't just jump on every trendy bandwagon.
No.
They carefully consider how new technologies can benefit their users.
They think it through.
And integrate them seamlessly into the OS.
It's all about the user experience.
All right, let's fast forward to FreeBSD 9.
FreeBSD 9.
Hit the scene in 2012.
Another big one.
New installer. More ZFS love.
Gotta have that ZFS.
No surprise there. But the real gem here is userland dtrace.
Dtrace.
Dtrace is like giving developers X-ray vision into their applications.
It's a powerful tool.
They can see exactly what's happening.
That's right.
Track down bugs and optimize performance like never before.
It's like magic, but for code.
So it's like a debugging tool on steroids. No more pulling your hair out trying to figure out why your code is acting like a drunken monkey.
It can be a lifesaver.
Exactly. dtrace is a powerful tool that separates the coding ninjas from the script kiddies.
That's a good way to put it.
It's all about understanding your code at a deeper level.
Deep understanding.
Getting under the hood and seeing how the engine really works.
Exactly.
And get this, FreeBSD 9 ended up powering the PlayStation 4.
A PlayStation 4.
I mean, who would have thought that your gaming console was running on the same OS that powers enterprise-level servers?
It's pretty amazing.
It's a testament to the versatility and robustness of FreeBSD.
It really is.
You can find it in everything from embedded systems to high-performance computing clusters.
It's everywhere.
It's like the chameleon of operating systems, adapting to any environment and thriving.
It's a survivor.
All right, let's talk about FreeBSD 10, released in 2014.
FreeBSD 10.
They made a bold move, ditching GCC and switching to Clang as their default compiler.
That was a big decision.
Now I know what you're thinking.
What?
Who gives a shit about compilers?
Right.
But this was actually a big fucking deal.
It was.
GCC was the reigning champion of compilers for years.
It was the king.
But Clang came along with its faster compile times and more efficient code generation.
Yeah, Clang was the new hotness.
And FreeBSD said, like, we're switching teams, bitches.
They weren't afraid to make a change.
They weren't afraid to shake things up and embrace new tools that would benefit their developers and users.
It's all about progress.
It's like trading in your old clunker for a sleek, high-performance sports car.
Nice analogy.
And they also added support for Vertio drivers.
Vertio drivers.
Making it even easier to use FreeBSD with virtualization platforms like KVM.
They were all in on virtualization.
They were all in on the virtualization revolution.
Absolutely.
Making sure FreeBSD was a first-class citizen in this brave new world of virtual machines.
They were leading the charge.
So they were basically saying, if you want to run your virtual servers on FreeBSD, we got you covered. Exactly. They were making sure FreeBSD was the go-to OS for anyone serious about virtualization.
It was the OS of choice.
Now let's talk about FreeBSD 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
Released in 2016 and 2018.
Okay.
The focus here was on security.
Security is always important.
And we're not talking about some half-assed security measures.
No.
We're talking about hardcore protection against those nasty Meltdown and Spectre vulnerabilities.
Meltdown and Spectre?
That were giving everyone nightmares.
Those were scary times.
Meltdown and Spectre were like the cybersecurity equivalent of a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, big deal.
They exposed fundamental flaws in modern processors.
It is a major issue.
And everyone was scrambling to patch their systems.
Right.
Before hackers exploited these vulnerabilities.
Gotta stay ahead of the bad guys.
And FreeBSD didn't just slap a Band-Aid on the problem.
No, they didn't.
They went deep, implemented comprehensive mitigations.
Well, took it seriously.
And made sure their users were protected from these existential threats.
They had their users' backs?
They were like the goddamn Navy SEALs of operating systems.
I love it.
Taking down those vulnerabilities with extreme prejudice.
They were on a mission.
They also continued to refine performance.
Performance is key.
Improve support for newer hardware.
Gotta keep up with the times.
And just generally make FreeBSD even more badass.
They never stop improving.
They were like a master craftsman.
A true craftsman.
Constantly honing their skills, refining their techniques, and pushing the boundaries of what an operating system could be.
It's an art form.
And FreeBSD 13, released in 2021, doubled down on security.
Security?
With the introduction of in-kernel TLS.
In-kernel TLS.
This is like encrypting your web traffic on steroids.
Yeah, it's the next level.
Making it virtually impossible for snoopers to intercept your data.
It's like a fortress for your data.
So it's like wrapping your data in a goddamn titanium vault.
That's a good visual.
And then launching it into space.
Nobody's getting to that.
No one's cracking that shit.
It's about taking security to the next level. Making sure your data is protected from the most sophisticated attacks.
And they continued to show love to ARM processors.
ARM processors.
Recognizing that the future of computing wasn't just about big, bulky servers.
Right.
It was about smaller, more energy-efficient devices that could power everything from smartphones to smart refrigerators.
The Internet of Things.
They were embracing the diversity of the hardware landscape.
They were.
Making sure FreeBSD could run on anything from a tiny Raspberry Pi to a massive supercomputer.
It's all about flexibility.
FreeBSD 14, released in 2023.
2023.
Made system maintenance even smoother.
Smoother is better.
With background file system checks for UFS with journaling.
Yeah, no more waiting around.
No more waiting for those annoying checks to finish before you can get back to work.
It just works.
It's all about improving the user experience.
That's right.
Making FreeBSD not just powerful and secure, but also easy to use and maintain.
It's the whole package.
And now we're looking ahead to FreeBSD 15 and 16, still in development. But you can bet your ass they'll be packed with even more innovation, security enhancements, and performance optimizations.
They're always pushing the boundaries.
The FreeBSD community is constantly pushing the envelope.
They're not slowing down.
Exploring new technologies and finding ways to make this already awesome OS even better.
It's only going to get better.
So there you have it, folks. The epic saga of FreeBSD, from its humble beginnings as a scrappy underdog.
It's come a long way.
To its current status as a powerhouse OS that powers everything from servers to gaming consoles.
It's a powerhouse.
FreeBSD has proven time and time again that it's a force to be reckoned with.
It's a force of nature.
It's a testament to the power of open source.
The power of community.
The dedication of a passionate community.
Passionate people.
And the relentless pursuit of excellence.
Always striving for better.
So if you're looking for an operating system that's stable, secure, and packed with features,
look no further.
Look no further than FreeBSD.
FreeBSD's got your back.
It might not be the flashiest OS on the block.
It's not about flash.
But it's the workhorse that keeps the internet running.
It's the backbone.
And your favorite gadgets humming.
It's the unsung hero.
And that's something worth celebrating.
Absolutely.
And that's a wrap, you beautiful bastards. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the wild and wonderful world of FreeBSD.
It's been a pleasure.